First of all, Happy New Year, everyone. And I think for me, I always see there are good directors and there are good stories. And that's always been my intention, is to be a part of a story. And in a setup, I always believe that a movie, the director is the captain of the ship. So that's where it starts from. It's not just the actors. So I think this was a combination of some really important factors to me. Working with Sriram Raghavan, that was always on my bucket list to do. And he's been one of my favorite directors. And when I heard the story, I was in awe that I was going to get to work with him in a story like this, which was so incredible, but also I think was right for me. And I think that's probably why Sir and me came together for this film, because he must have also seen that in the character.
Now that you've seen the trailer, I'm sure you've seen it a few times. When you see it out here on the big screen, first time, right? I mean, it has to be like, when a batsman is also batting and he sees a lovely shot, he says, nice shot there. When you see yourself out there, that inner praise must happen once in a while. Do you like what you saw?
I mean, I think the film has come together beautifully, both the films actually, because as you saw, there's a Hindi version and there's a Tamil version. That was for us a big challenge, because the kind of scenes, the nature of the scenes, to perform those scenes in Tamil is a challenge, because obviously that's a completely different language for me. But I think both of the films have come out beautifully. They're both films that I'm very proud to be a part of, and that I can't wait to now share with the audience on January 12th. It was a very interesting journey, actually. There's many parts of the journey that even Sir has not shared yet. There were many twists and turns, even in the journey of making
shooting of it. Yeah.
Even before we got on set, it had a lot of had a life of its own. And when it finally kind of landed up as me and Vijay being in the film, the first day of kind of interaction for me was very fascinating. The minute I heard Vijay describe and talk about a scene, I instantly realized, okay, this is a person who sees things in such a unique way that I can never see a scene in that way. And for me, that was really exciting, to be able to come together and work with people who very evidently see things completely different to the way I would have a take on something. And for all three of us to come together, and Sir does a lot of rehearsals, and we would do the workshop on the actual set for about, I think it was a week before we started shoot. And I was always like, so Sir, when do we start? There was no commitment of when we start. We'll start when it's ready, when he's feeling it. And I think that process was very unique for me as an actor, and extremely, it was extremely magical, I think, to be able to have been a part of this process of Merry Christmas. Well, if we didn't hit it off instantly, I wouldn't tell you. No, I'm joking. Our first meeting actually was all three of us together in a room, and I had recently seen a picture of Vijay Sir, and he had full white hair and a white beard. I don't know if you've seen that. It's if you see on the internet, it's a very kind of picture which comes a lot. So I had seen him with this full white hair and beard. So when I walked into the office, I didn't know quite what to expect. And when I saw him like this, I was like, oh wow, that's a really different look. But I was honestly, it was everything for me about this film. I was extremely excited to be working with Sriram Sir and with Vijay Sir. And as soon as we came together in a room, I think everyone came just as themselves. And we instantly were able to connect. As I said, I think the minute Vijay Sir started speaking about the scene, it was fascinating for me. I just thought that, okay, this is the person who views things in such a unique way. And Sriram Sir has a very unique take on everything he does. It's the way he sees stories, it's the way he sees people. And it was just about us coming together and finding a rhythm and finding our own way of working and bringing the script to life on film. I think I see things a little different, perhaps. I actually think that the character of Zoya is one of the strongest female characters I've ever had a chance to play. And I think, especially in Tiger 3, it was so beautifully nuanced and so well written by Manish Sharma. And I thoroughly enjoyed being able to play that character. But that world, that film, and that character has its own charm. A character like the character I'm playing in Merry Christmas. It's a different world. It's a different tone. It's a different language. It's a different pace. It's a different rhythm. So coming into that world, which was Sriram Raghavan's world, the first thing that I needed to do was to come in with an open mind. We had been discussing this film for a good, I think, almost a year and a half before we got on the set. And the first thing Sriram sir asked me to do was to write a backstory of who this woman was. The character's name is Maria, and he told me, like you heard earlier, that he gave about a 20-minute narration, and he asked me then to write Maria's backstory. Where was she? What drove her to become the way she is? What did she feel? What had happened in her life? So that whole process was an extremely helpful process, I think. We worked very hard before coming on set. I did a lot of workshops with a few different people. Sriram sir had a workshop with us as well. So I enjoyed this kind of a process. It's not all the time that you get to rehearse the scenes with your co-actor and to be able to do that over a few days. So for me, this was a really fulfilling experience. A lot of work went into the preparation, and I think, I hope that it's come out the way that we had all hoped for and the way that Sriram sir envisioned it. I think, of course, I understand what you're saying. You will feel a little, you can feel a little nervous or a little fearful when you step out of the zone of a large commercial entertainer. But I think the solution for that is to be fearless and to overcome that fear, because that experience and that reward is really incredible for an actor. And I think that that's an important thing for my growth as an actor and my growth as a performer. So I would just say, feel the fear and feel the nerves. That's good. Let that drive you, and give every film your heart and soul, which is what I try to do.
Do you feel that that can do that in like a smaller audience or something compared to the large audience that you usually cater to? Like, is that a fear?
I think that every film finds its own audience, and I think the story we've put out the story now. Our trailers are out, our songs are coming out now, and the people to whom it is connecting, that's our audience. I think Sriram Raghavan has a very loyal fan following, and I think that we've put our best into it. We've made a film I think we're all proud of, and it will now be for you to judge on January 12th, and we're all looking forward to seeing the audience's reaction.